Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to another edition of the Crypto Mamma Mia. Today is February 25th, 2021. What am I talking about today, ladies and gents? Well, I'm talking about something that could affect crypto in a very positive way. As you know, I'm not your financial advisor, just a YouTube vlogger, and I love to share my info. And today, this is what I'm sharing. And always remember, go read my disclaimer and always read or watch the latest and greatest on whatever you're doing. With that being said, here we go. What am I talking about today, ladies and gents? I saw this when I woke up this morning, um, and I was watching some YouTube videos on it, and I like read about it on the internet through Yahoo Finance. But what is it? It's about the Fedwire and how they shut down. So this article talks about how the Fedwire resumes operations after hours-long disruption. So this happened yesterday, but I just saw it today, and I thought it was worthy for me to give it some of my time and to tell you why, this could affect crypto in a positive way, right? So basically what happened is the Federal Reserve says its Fedwire funds, Fed cash, and some check clearing services, they have resumed normal operations after a more than 3-hour disruption to more than a dozen critical central bank payment services, forming the backbone of the US banking system. Now, why is this important, ladies and gents? Well, just in case you are unaware, I've been doing some research on this, and I've learned this about my own money as well. So if you or someone you know ever needed to send amounts of money like through a wire because maybe it's a huge amount. For example, let's say I wanted to send 20,000 because I'm buying a property outside of my state, outside of my country, outside of my jurisdiction, whatever the case may be. I usually don't just send a check right in the mail because that's just ludicrous and it'll take forever. So if I want it to get to wherever it needs to get to in the old days and the old banking system, usually you just go to your bank and wire the funds right from your bank account. So when that happens, it actually goes through a process. It just doesn't go from your bank account to the other person's bank account or wherever you're sending it to. It actually goes through the Fed, right? So like for example, if you're traveling from one country to another, they don't just let you waltz right in, right? They need to check you at customs to make sure you're not shady, to make sure you know your why you're there, why you're going, where you came from, etc. Same thing with your funds. The Fed, they don't just, especially if you're in the US, right? They don't just like you sending big sums of money to God knows where, right? They want to make sure they check it out and they know that you're not some kind of shady, I don't know, whatever you're doing, shady business person or a shady person to begin with. So, especially if you're sending large sums of money. So, when this thing happens, like something like this, when this goes down, your money gets stuck, right? And this is bad, especially for businesses who need to send money to certain places at like set time periods, right? Let's say you have a reoccurring payment that happens at 3 p.m. Eastern every single day. And if you don't, that is a big red flag for your business, or that can greatly disrupt your business in a bad way. So this is why, ladies and gents, I am a proponent of blockchain, not just because of its crazy good opportunities, right? You've seen my videos on how Bitcoin drops and pumps like $2,000-3,000 sometimes in a day, right? GameStop, yeah, sure. I mean, great, pumped up like what, $80? That's $80, ladies and gents. We're talking about like pumps of thousands in a 24-hour period. So I love crypto just because of that, but I also love it because of this. I mean, imagine if you were trying to send money somewhere because you were purchasing something on a time sensitive matter and the bank goes down, right? See, now if you sent it as Bitcoin, let's see here, and you knew that like the person accepted Bitcoin, because even though Bitcoin is volatile, when you're sending 20 grand, the best thing that person can do when they receive the 20 grand is to go ahead and like either cash it out right away or, put it into a stable coin so that at least the 20 grand that you sent is pretty, it's pretty close to 20 grand still, right? And in fact, if you do send something like this, hold on, you can even, pick your fees, right? So if you want it to get there lightning fast, like within seconds, then you, hold on here. Let's see. You can click send, for example. And this is just Exodus, of course. There are many other types of wallets that you can use, but you can go like super lightning speed, right? Let's see here. What if I sent it all? So, and look, you could do it like super lightning fast speed. So I would be sending my Bitcoin, which is approximately, I believe, was $143 for a fee of 15. I mean, if I wanted to get there in seconds, right, then all I would need to pay is $15. And guess what, ladies and gents, these wire transfers, they are not cheap as well. I don't know if you've ever seen, but I think certain amounts cost so much dollars. And look, it still needs to go through the Fed. And when the Fed fails, you are screwed, right? But with this, at least with the blockchain, you know what you're getting, right? So like if you do super high speeds and you pay the maximum fee, then you know that that person or whoever you're sending it to will get it like within mere minutes, and they can check it and they can you know, email you back and say, oh, or text you back or message you back and say, hey, I got it, and it's confirmed, right? You've seen, I mean, if you've watched the videos of like these big YouTubers who send payments of crazy amounts to like platforms or programs, like for example, the Oracle, sends like 50K to, I don't know, somewhere, and it gets there, and you know what, the fee is already included, and it gets there, it gets confirmed within like mere minutes, right? So then you don't have to worry about these crazy kinds of things happening to you, right? Where you have to go through the Fed, and if the Fed fails, then you're pretty much screwed. But and I mean, to their credit, they came back in 3 hours. But again, if you have time sensitive issues and someone was over there waiting for your payment, and let's say because of that, they didn't receive your payment, and somebody who wasn't using the Fed or like maybe had cash and just walked it over there and got there before you would have been screwed, right? So there you go. This is why blockchain looks like it's going to be around to stay. And I know there's still a lot of non-believers. I mean, just look at Warren Buffett. He still thinks that Bitcoin is rat poo, but you know what? Other people like Robert Kiyosaki, and he didn't know about Bitcoin or he did, but he was not a proponent for a while in the very beginning. And of course, why would you invest in something you are not familiar with or aware of the upside? But Robert Kiyosaki, he's a very smart man, Rich Dad, Poor Dad author. And now he's all into it. He always calls Bitcoin the people's money, just like he calls gold and silver money from the gods or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, and this is the reasons why. The more you can do outside of the, uh, old school banking system, the better, right? Like, how many of you even know people who still write checks, right? I don't know too many. And yes, I will occasionally send out a check for things that like still need checks, but I haven't bought like a checkbook in ages. I think my one checkbook lasts for at least a year or more. So I just like to bring these things up because this is just more food for thought, right? If you're always thinking, why Bitcoin, or why do I love Bitcoin so much, or why should I get into it? I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying you should at least be aware of what's happening to you. And even though you're not directly affected because maybe you're not someone sending 100 grand today, I mean, what if you were though in the future? Or what if you could be because you researched up on your cryptos, right? And it doesn't take a lot of time, ladies and gents. I know that we are all busy people, but you can take a few minutes instead of watching your favorite show first. Maybe watch a video or read an article on things like this, because the smarter you are, and the more action you take on certain things, even if it's just purchasing your first bit of Bitcoin. In fact, I had a friend in real life. I just introduced Cash App to him and the Bitcoin option. So he bought his first $50 worth of Bitcoin, maybe I want to say 3 weeks ago now, maybe when it was still under 46K, maybe closer to 40K. And he was so excited because when he opened it up, he made $19 in 3 weeks off of $50, right? So, and he's a small entrepreneur himself, so he's open to it, but he's never heard of it. Can you imagine that? Someone who still has not heard of it. So, and I know that there are many people out there like him who still have not heard about it. So this is the reason why I have my channel, because yes, I do love the sketchy stuff. I do love the occasional hype, and I do love the passive platforms, but I just love the educational part of my channel the most, right? If I can introduce someone to Bitcoin through my videos, just introduce. You don't have to buy anything. There's a lot of things that I have on my link tree that has nothing to do with any like platform or referral. In fact, I have an article on how to get Bitcoin out of your um, Cash App. Just click on that link, read the article, that kind of stuff. It doesn't cost you anything. There's no referral commissions for me. I just get the pure pleasure of someone coming to me and going, I bought $50 and I made 19 in like a couple weeks. I'm like, right, without doing anything, without doing anything. Now imagine if we just shared this kind of info with a few people every day and empowered people. That's what I want to do. I want to empower people to get a grip and get a hold of opportunities or education that can actually change their life. Because I know for myself, crypto has changed my life, right, in a positive way. So I want that to happen for more people, because my thinking is the better educated and situated people are, and the better the community is, then the better for all of us, right? If there are less people that we have to, try to help out because they need the help, if they can help themselves through education or even just starting something, buying your first $50 of Bitcoin, compounding that, core compounding it, then I think the better off the world will be. And that's why my channel exists. So there you go, ladies and gents. That is today's video. That is today's Sermon on the Mount. No, just kidding. It's today's just info for you, something for you to wrap your head around. I hope that was interesting and helpful to you. If you found that helpful and interesting, please go ahead and like and subscribe and share. I am so close to 2,000 subs. I see it slowly inching every day. And it just warms my heart to welcome new members, because once I hit 2,000 subs, guess what, ladies and gents? I'll be giving away more of my BTC. So if you like that idea, help me out. Just hit that share, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Otherwise, I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please stay sane, most important of all. And I will see you at the next video. Adios.